Welcome back to another episode of Savvy Geeks. I'm your host, Mark Savvy. So excited to talk about Shang-Chi. Wow, this movie had some of the best action sequences Marvel's ever done. It was so innovative and exciting and new, fresh, all the buzzwords you want to give. Shang-Chi had that. I know it didn't do well at the box office. Well, you know what? Actually, I consider it a success. Because $432 million box office on a $200 million budget is a success in my opinion. But I feel like Marvel may have wanted a little bit more because of the success of some of their past films, some of the films we've covered. But it was during COVID. Like, it was around that time where people were still trying to figure out if they were going to come back to the theaters. So when Shang-Chi did what it did, which is still pretty good, I think a lot of people were pleasantly surprised. I mean, the fans. I just wonder if the studios were okay with it. It doesn't even matter, though, because this movie was a success in my mind. I loved it. Simu Liu is, he's from Toronto. He's known for a local television show called Kim's Convenience. And I met him in person, and he is such a nice guy. I got him to sign a first appearance of Shang-Chi comic. He was so nice about it. It was at Fan Expo. I asked him what his favorite boba tea place is. Listen, this was before any of that stuff happened with him in Shark Tank. Or is it Dragon's Den? I forget the Canadian one. But way before any of that stuff happened. I saw a previous interview before I met him where he talked about how much he loved it, the drink, and he mentioned a place that he liked to go to, and I forgot what it was. So I just asked him what his favorite place to go to is. He was really nice about it, really sweet guy. So happy for this success he's had. I feel like Marvel made a mistake with how they proceeded post Shang-Chi. And what I mean by that is, Shang-Chi should have been the linchpin of this next phase. I think they should have led with Shang-Chi, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man. Those should have been the main characters pushing this next era of Marvel. Yeah, you'll introduce some newer stuff. I get it. Like, WandaVision was excellent, but I feel like Shang-Chi was so good. It was such a good opportunity to kind of integrate this new looming threat into the MCU with the 10 rings and Talao being this pocket universe connected to ours. They just biffed it. Like, we should have had a TV show about his sister running the 10 rings. We should have had a second Shang-Chi movie already by now, where we delve more into what the 10 rings are. And as you saw in the post-credit, like, they're connected to something that we still don't know what it is. The movie came out 3 years ago. It's time for the second one, and we don't even have an update of when they're starting to film. So that movie's easily like 2 years away. Doesn't make sense. You had a really good movie. It did really well for the time that it came out. It was so fresh, so exciting. They should have done way more with it, and they didn't, and that's what sucks. And they still probably will, but it didn't happen quick enough. We're not going to get any Shang-Chi update for, like I said, no new like filming updates for a while probably. And that's what sucks. Like, they should have already been done the movie. They haven't even started filming it yet. We don't have any updates yet. Daniel Creston is, I'm assuming, coming back, but I haven't seen any updates of that. Who's going to be the villain? We don't know anything. They haven't even written it yet. And that 10 ring show, that's not going to happen. Like, it would have happened already. What is all this? Like, that would have been a great way to introduce Shang-Chi to Spider-Man, because the 10 rings could have moved to New York, and it could have had this. They could have had this gritty, like, crime, street level crime drama with Spider-Man fighting the 10 rings. It would have been so epic. And then Shang-Chi comes in, and maybe he helps him at the end of the Spider-Man movie, and then at the end of the Spider-Man movie, that's when the multiversal threat comes in and they all band together. Like, I don't know, I'm just spitballing off the top of my head, but there's so many avenues they could have gone, and I feel like they lost their way. I know I keep saying it, but I love Marvel. I've enjoyed, is what I should say, every movie I've watched so far. Marvel has not missed for me. I love Marvel. I always will. They just don't have a big picture view of what they should be doing. Shang-Chi should have been the linchpin of the universe. And I'm not saying it because I'm partial to Simu Liu because he's from Toronto and I met him and he's a nice guy. He could have been a piece of shit, and I still would have said they should have made him a linchpin of the universe. It's not, personal feelings don't get in the way of what I think should be done here. And the Wenwu, I wish Wenwu didn't die. He was such a good villain. I really loved the introduction of Ta Lao and the epic dragon fight. I could go so long. Like, I loved how we have Aquafina's character, how she's not really a love interest. She's just a friend. It's so nice to have just a friend, you know? It feels like every single show, they have to have some kind of love interest. But it seemed like they were just really good friends. Maybe they explore that later, but in this film, that's all it was. It was really cool seeing Abomination with Wong. That was really nice. Like, what she built there in Macau was sick. Imagine she builds that in New York. They have an underground fight ring with Rhino or something, and then he gets out, and that's how Spider-Man gets involved. I don't know, I'm just spitballing, but that would have been cool. Simu Liu is an absolute perfect lead. I feel like he's been in a lot of villain roles lately, but I want to see him in more hero protagonist kind of roles going forward, which he's got to be a big part of Secret Wars. It has to be the 10. I don't even know what they're doing anymore. Like, I'm just going to start venting at this point because I just can't believe that it's been 3 years since Shang-Chi has come out and there isn't one update. Why not put a second one out by now? Like, come on. What are you doing? Put these movies out. People want to see them. Shang-Chi was one of the most innovative Marvel films they've ever done. It was so rich in history and culture, and the action was so different than anything Marvel's ever done. Why won't they push more stuff like that? Come on. He could have gone to, I would even buy a Shang-Chi and Spider-Man team up. Street level, kind of Defenders level type shit. Shiv, where they're just fighting in the streets. Like, there's no like crazy like alien threat. You know, we see Spider-Man where he's meant to be. Shang-Chi can come in. They can have epic action too. I think I could see a Spider-Man and Shang-Chi team up happening. I prefer individual movies, but I could see it happening. It was funny. Simu Liu was really funny, but I didn't think it was. I didn't think his character was that funny. I thought the funniest element of the film came from Trevor Slattery. It was so good. And the little monster that was his buddy, so funny. Aquafina was pretty good too. I really loved his sister. She was so badass. The one thing that kind of confused me is, if any of my listeners are from that part of the world, please let me know. They don't actually build scaffolds with bamboo and tie them together with ropes, right? That doesn't make any sense to me. That feels like a disaster waiting to happen. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you've been there, if you can vouch for that. All the elements are there for Shang-Chi to come in super strong in the MCU power rankings. But the question is, how strong is it going to come in? Where is it going to land? Well, I'm looking at the rank. I'm going to do this thing now where I just decide on the spot. Shang-Chi will come in at number 10 on our MCU power ranking. So it's going to be ahead of Ultron, Iron Man, Far From Home, Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 2, Spider-Man, The Hulk, Thor, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Ant-Man, Iron Man 2, Thor Dark World, Iron Man 3, and Captain Marvel. Those are all behind it. So my top 10 is going to go Shang-Chi at number 10, Doctor Strange at number 9, Captain America at number 8, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 at number 7, The Avengers come in at number 6, and then our top 5 goes Winter Soldier, Ragnarok, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. I was debating on where it should land because I'm torn between Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, Captain America, and Doctor Strange. But those movies are personally more impactful to me. Shang-Chi, I love it. It's very close. It's more innovative than any of those movies, except for Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange and Shang-Chi, I think, are really like on the ball. They're both innovative. They both introduce a whole corner of the world for Marvel that I'm excited to see. But I just personally like Doctor Strange more. But yeah, it's more innovative than a lot of the other movies on this list. But the other movies, I know they're not as innovative, but I just like them better. That's just a personal taste. But hey, it's still coming in at number 10. That's very strong for Shang-Chi. And I really can only think of one movie maybe passing it, one or two movies from this point on. So yeah, we're going to stop with Shang-Chi at number 10. Up next, we have a very polarizing movie. We'll be talking about Eternals by Chloe Zhao.